to the broadcast. Okay. All right. Now. Okay. Mr. Left. I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Find me. Because I don't have a clue what I'm doing. All right. Okay. Now, normally it'll tell me. It'll show me when people start showing up. So, let's see. That's my pod. I do have it set up for me and you, Todd. So. Okay, yes. Add my guest to the
Can you hear me
room.
now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me talking?
Yes, yes.
Let me turn my volume up.
Loud and clear. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Now you can hear me. Now you can hear me. Is it echoey? No echoey? I don't know. How about now? Yep.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me good? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. Why you take it down? Why you take it down? Because I couldn't get it to work. That's why I took it down. I couldn't get it to work. Okay, we're live now. Live now. Okay, Todd, what are we talking about today?
Constipation.
YouTube. We're talking about constipation. Ain't nobody constipated, man. You constipated? Todd, you constipated?
No.
I don't know. Somebody's constipated out there. Okay, okay. So my name is Forrest Gump. I'm an
I'm
herbalist.
Todd Liner.
We're both herbalists, and we are actually here to. Let me see if I can make this show right. Turn application. Hold on, Todd. Give me a second. Interview. Interview. Okay. Okay. No, I don't want that. Hold on, Todd. Oh, entire screen. No, 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 no. Okay, no. There we go. Got it now. All right. You're looking kind of rough there, Todd. Getting kind of young there, home team. Come here, let me slap you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, loud and clear. Okay, let me see. Let me see if my audience can hear me. If y'all can, if you can hear me out there, somebody give me a chat. Yes, you're playing this song. That's good too. Can you hear me, Miss? Where are you? YouTube. Okay, I'm trying to get my audience. Let them know where I'm at. Now, live interview. Todd, I should have a thank you link. Ecam live interview. I got an interview link. Hold on, Todd. How did I? Oh, I lost you. See if I can get you back. Entire screen. Come on, don't do that to me. Okay, thanks, Todd. Okay, yeah. If I do that again, you just hit the button because I'm kind of slow. Trying to figure some
You're
things
kind
out.
of low.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm low. I'm low. He said you're low. He said you're low, low to the low, low. Am I low now? How
That's
about now?
better.
That's better.
Mhm.
Is it echoey though?
No, a little bit lower. That's too loud.
Okay, hold on. Too loud. Too loud. Too loud. Too loud. Too loud. Too loud. How about now?
A little
How
bit
about now?
lower.
Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down. How about
That's good.
now? That's good right there.
Mhm.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, my name is Forrest Gump. I got Todd Loudon. We both are herbalists. We have a strong desire to help people. We like making a living, of course, but we have a strong desire to help people, and we know what works. So today we're gonna talk about you and your intestines, and why you toe up from the flow up. Constipated. Everybody constipated. I'm not constipated. I was constipated, but I'm not constipated. and my body regulates like 3 times a day. You know, every time I eat, I go. And are you supposed to go every time you eat, Todd?
Well, if you're eating 3 meals a day, you should be using the bathroom 3 meals a day, 3 times a day, um, minimum twice, minimum twice.
Minimum
But
twice. Because
unfortunately,
if you eat and don't shit, it backs up like the plumbing in the house. Is that a
exactly
good? That's a decent analogy.
correct.
Okay, so now how are we gonna help people that's all clogged up and and stinking shit? Because people smell real bad, especially if they eat that American diet. Shit stinks.
Well, the first thing people have to realize is that they are constipated. And so a lot of times people are eating 3 meals a day, 21 meals a week, and they're going to the bathroom once a week. And when they go to the doctor, it's not an alarm immediately set up that you're constipated. Where do you think all that food is going if you're not having a bowel movement 3 times a week? And if you are having a bowel movement, it's coming out like a little pebble, and you ate like a 3 course meal
I
or
mean,
seven
even
course.
even children are constipated now. Children got diabetes. Children are constipated. Do
Yeah.
you think parents know what they're doing now, or is it just that they don't care?
It's not that they don't care. Um, I think it's a lack of information, lack of knowledge. Back in the uh, 50 years ago, 75 years ago, people ate differently. They cooked their foods at home. They ate a lot of raw foods, and it was already understood that how that you needed to be health conscious, even if you weren't like educated health conscious. You had to make sure you were eating and eating properly, and you were also making sure that you were having regular bowel movements.
Do you think people finna give up their pork chops and hamburgers and stuff? You lost your rabbit. Hey, look here. Ain't nobody finna give up their pork chops, hog jaws, okay, like the Beverly Hillbillies, hog maws, hog jaws, smoked neck bones, chitterlings. Ain't finna happen.
Well, I mean, okay, okay. Ideally, you have to let go of that's what's called the slave diet. Those are we've made it into a culture of eating things that most other people are throwing away as waste and making it into a delicacy. Now, these things that we're eating are causing degenerative health diseases. You're causing yourself to have, uh, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart conditions. Now, you don't necessarily have to let go of these things, but
Right.
if you go through those things, then you definitely need to know how to move them out of your system.
Benefit will it bring to the medical industry to educate you on methods that will heal you permanently versus just addressing your symptoms temporarily? Uh, Herbalists, they ain't ready for this question. We gonna make them mad with this one. They just wanna stay ignorant around here.
He just had to jump in. I'm sorry. He do that to me every now and again.
Yeah.
He like
So,
help people. So go ahead.
okay, so the best way to do this is you really need to be eating at least 1/3 of your diet raw. And that's a bare minimum. That means one big salad a day. That'll keep you regular. You need to be drinking minimum
They ain't
8.
ready for this question. We gonna make them mad with this one.
I'm sorry. I'm
They
sorry.
just gonna stay. They just wanna
He
stay
doing it
ignorant
again.
around here.
He just had to
Doing it
jump
again.
in.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Cousin
He
Cooter,
do that to me every now
stop,
and
man.
again.
Yeah.
He like
So,
help people. So go ahead.
okay. So the best way to do this is,
Go ahead. Keep going.
of
Don't
course,
stop.
that.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Okay. So I think that what they'd have to do next is start using herbs to move the bowels. So you're
Okay.
going to need like senna leaves, psyllium husk. Um, uh, those are the two main ones that I think that are most important to moving the bowels. Now, when you're eating, taking some of these herbs, like especially psyllium husk, you have to understand that it bulks up in the system. So you have to drink enough water to make sure you're pushing that through. So it's kind of like a sweeping form. It's like a sweeping effect where it's taking everything in the colon and sweeping it out, pushing it out. Because your body will naturally do this itself, but because you're eating them incorrectly, you limit your body's ability to remove the waste.
Okay. So now, what about people who don't know about herbs that they actually work actually better than medication because there are no side effects, and they do actually move your bowels. How do you convince somebody to give the herbs a try when most people, they got this stigmata about herbs? They think herbs are alternative because the medical industry.
Well, most of the medication is based on plants anyway, and that's the original way we were healing each ourselves. So the pharmaceutical is actually the new kid on the block. It's been promoted as the best option, but that's
Okay.
usually for emergency purposes. What I like to say, if you have a major crisis, then you need to have some medical intervention. But as far as daily maintenance
Uh huh.
and maintaining your body, you need to make sure you're using the proper herbs to heal you, keep yourself healthy.
Now we got some shit. We got them herbs. We got them herbs. So
Yes.
so we got a lot of herbs, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had the best results from these herbs, bro, and I want people to have them. I want people to feel the effects of them, especially things like because a lot of herbs you don't feel the effects from, but
Mhm.
the colon formula, the Sinfin formula, the bowel mover formula, the digestive enzyme formula, those are the herbs that I recommend for anybody that's constipated. And I'll say it in this order: before you eat, you take digestive enzymes, help your body digest the food. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Because the food is already poisoned and it's got chemicals and all that good stuff. So digestive enzymes I recommend before you eat, especially if you're not going regularly. You're not going 2 times a day. You're not going regularly. You're constipated. You don't even know it.
Mhm.
Okay, so now for us to tell you to change your diet, the average person ain't finna listen to that. I mean, let's just be real. Food tastes, death tastes good because it's not food, right? Death tastes real good. So what do you say about the death people eat?
Well, you can either get with the program or continue to dig your grave with your teeth. And I know that's a kind of a harsh way to look at it, but you have to understand that the foods that you're eating, most of them are not classified as food based on the definition of food. But if you're going to continue to eat the things that you're eating, you're going to have to find a way to eliminate it from your body in a timely manner. Now, see, people have to understand that your colon is probably a little bit smaller. The circumference of your colon is a little bit smaller than your wrist. But what's happening is people's colon's about this big around normally. But what happens is it expands. It has all this feces built up in here. So, and then when you go into the bathroom, you got a little tiny little pencil coming out because this is hard like a tire, black tire, in here,
Hold on, hold
and
on,
it's
hold on. You said they got a little pencil coming out. All that you said it done expanded, and the pencil's coming out. You
yeah, a
said
little,
basically
a little pencil,
this
a
all
little
coming
little
out. That's all
it's
coming out.
coming, and you're sitting on the toilet straining, causing yourself to have hemorrhoids because you're trying to push the cement block out. It's because it's been sitting in your system so long that it's putrefied, and
Woo.
you know, and what you can do, what people normally do is they take a laxative, and see, the problem with laxatives is it's addictive, and now your body starts to rely on that laxative to move the waste out of your body. So you want to take something like senna leaves or psyllium husk that's not going to be um, addictive. So your body can do the function it's supposed to do without being have to rely on something permanently.
Right? Okay, I gotta put up a bypass. Okay, so how you know? Okay, so tell them how they know if they're constipated. This is how you know if you're constipated.
Simple thing. If you're eating 21 meals a day and you're not having close to that many bowel movements,
You said
you're
21 a
constipated.
day. Oh, back up, back up. You said,
Meals a week, 21 meals a week,
come on, man,
and
you
you're
gotta
not.
get it right, man. People could count.
My math is off, but you've had that many meals a day. Let's just break it down to a day.
Okay,
If you're eating every day, you're not going to the bathroom, you're constipated. Now, the doctor's not going to tell you you're constipated. He's not going to sound the alarm, but I'm here to sound the alarm. The
okay,
alarm is going to sound.
okay. So basically, what you're saying is, if you're eating and not releasing, the numbers begin to back up on you. For example, day one you eat 2 meals, you only go one time. Day two you eat 2 meals, you only go one time. You now end up you still got 2 meals in your system 2 days later, right or wrong.
Right. And see, what happens is if you're eating um, animal flesh, and
Okay.
what's going to happen is if you've ever put like a piece of hamburger
Right.
into a jar and left it in the sun,
Uh huh.
you'll see you'll see the maggots grow out of that. So all flesh has parasites in it. So and you're not a snake. You're not a lion. You don't have the digestive juices necessary to break down food like they do. So you're eating the wrong. You're eating a diet that's not conducive for your health,
What's that
and
word
you're eating.
called? What's that word called? Animals are what's the word called for meat eaters?
They're carnivores.
Okay, and we are
We are herbivores.
herbivores. That's the word. Okay, that's the word. So basically, we need plant based. Our system is only our system works best digesting plant based foods as
And
opposed.
the evidence can be found by looking at your teeth. You don't have the canine teeth. You don't have the strong digestive juices to break down raw food, raw meat, and cooked meat like that. So that's why you have a problem with constipation. See, and secondly, you're having a problem with constipation because you don't know how to combine the foods properly. So if you're eating watermelon and eating meat, what's going to happen? You're going to end up you finding it correctly. Now you're going to have rotten watermelon in your system because it's staying in your system too long because it's in there digesting with the meat. You
But
know, so
but now people don't understand that. First of all, people don't know how the body works. I'm just gonna be real. I don't care what anyone says. The average person does not know how their digestive system works, how their intestinal system works. All they know is they got one. All they know is that they're alive, and they're walking around here and they're thinking that they're okay when they're not. And then once they get sick, the doctor's not going to break it down like we're breaking it down. I think it's a good thing about herbalists. Herbalists will break it down for you and make it so that you can understand it. If you're working with somebody or talking to somebody that doesn't do that for you, then you're left at the whim of that person's conversation because you have no say, you have no stake in the game, even though the game is about you. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now, how can we help people that are
Okay, so
constipated?
first information. So you got to first acknowledge that you're constipated. Then you have to decide what you're going to do about it. So water, number one, drinking water, eating raw foods, and then start using some type of herbal formula. So we have what four? We have about 5 or 6 different herbal formulas. So I always recommend the colon formula because it's the most balanced and it's not going to compromise you at work. So you can take that you can have to take the colon formula and then you'll have a bowel movement first thing in the morning, and you won't be running to the bathroom. Now, if you're really backed up, you're going to need something to use something a little stronger, like the second strongest. The colon formula I think is the best, but the strongest formula is the Sinfin formula.
Sin fin.
Now,
Yes.
that's the one that you got to be ready for that one. If you take this formula, it's going to blow everything out of you. Second strongest is the
Bow.
bowel mover.
Yep.
That's for moving out really hard to move. That's been petrified in your system, black. You'll see different colors when you use these formulas too. You'll see green, meaning that your gallbladder was acting on the food you ate. You'll see black, which means that it's been in your system for like decades, maybe for years, and it's turned black like a piece of tire,
But
and
but
it's
but
hard.
but people's biggest fear is they don't want to blow up the black wall of the bathroom. You know how when you got to go sometimes and it's so bad when you take certain things that when you sit down everything gets sprayed before you make it to the toilet stool. People don't want to do that, so
Well,
so you got to be real careful, and that's a fear that people have. And then they don't want to take something that is going to do that once they are out and about. So they're like,
right.
okay, how can I take this? Is it safe to take this now? Because I don't want to shit on myself and stuff like that. So people are actually afraid. So I would tell them which herbs and which and what The I say the strongest last. Tell them the effects of each one, starting with the colon, ending with the synphin.
Okay, so the colon formula is the most balanced formula we make. So that one's going to be it's actually for conditioning the colon, restoring peristalsis, and then also for moving the bowels, moving the colon, moving your feces out of your body. So that's the best formula, I think. The intestinal janitor is more of a sweeping action. It's
Okay.
it's 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 gonna be like a it's just like the name says, it's like a boom, just sweeping stuff out. So it's gonna be sweeping. It's gonna be have it has psyllium husk in there. That's what the main function of that is sweeping.
Right.
You know, what's the next one? Bowel locomotion. That's the one that's going to remove the lodge, the feces that's lodged in your intestinal wall. You'll see balls that when you start using the bathroom, you say, "Wow, what's different shapes coming out?" Why is it not looking the same? Because that was lodged in your colon wall, and the colon wall has little pockets. So that's where that feces was sitting there. And then what's the next one? Synfin. That's just
Symptom.
like somebody who just has difficulty going to the bathroom, and we want to get you started right away.
Yes, not Sinfin now. That ain't no joke, y'all. So don't play with that one because that'll
Right.
mess you up. That stuff run down your leg if you take it wrong. You take it wrong. You be drifting.
And what people don't realize is that most people are walking around with 10 to 20 pounds of feces in their intestines.
Stop. You said people is full of shit. What you just said.
You said that. I just said they had 10 pounds of feces. I didn't say it was full.
You said people is full of shit. They walking around with a bunch of shit, and 10 to 20 pounds. That's a lot of doo doo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when John Wayne passed away, he had, I think, 50 or 60 pounds of feces in his colon.
Right.
So that's a
That's not
lot
good.
of that's
That's
a lot
not
of weight
good.
to keep around. And
I'm live.
this is why
Yes.
you have to use. This is one of the reasons why you have to use deodorant, because you're so what's the best word to say? Uh, you,
Okay.
you, you, your body smells so bad inside that you have to deodorize yourself
All right.
so that people don't smell you. You know, you,
Right.
you're not supposed to have a really strong odor when you go to the bathroom. Bowel movements. That's not normal. That you're supposed to be relatively no scent at all. I mean, there's going to be a little scent, but not strong. Where people are
I
like,
don't. Because I take so many herbs. I don't smell nothing. I be trying to smell something, but I don't because I take so many herbs. And that's the beautiful thing about herbs. If you with somebody they stink real bad, you need to put them on herbs. Now, activated charcoal obviously kills odor too, but getting herbs in your system will eventually start making the smell go away. I mean, not just that smell, the semen smell won't be so bad, but
mhm.
your shit smell, somebody farting under the covers on you and stuff like that. That stuff hurts your feelings a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be real careful.
I don't know who you've been dating. I don't know who you dating. Oh,
Look at it, man. Hey, Todd. Yeah, I ain't been dating nobody, man. I'm just saying that was my old days. When I used to be,
I don't know nothing about that.
before I got into herbs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I was rocking, so I can imagine how bad people really smell right now.
Just
Before,
just imagine just imagine you leaving an egg out in the sun and it rots. That's what's happening in your body when you eat these foods and you're not digesting them properly. It's sitting in your system for most meat. Even if your system is clean, it's going to take about 8 to 10 hours for it to get out of your system. But when you're constipated, you've got issues. That stuff might sit in you for months before
and
it comes out.
and if you have a digestive problem, we have herbs for that. We have herbs for everything. And the only reason I say digestive problem because most people do have acid reflux and they got a digestive issue, and they don't know what to take for that. And I've had customers who I had walk through and actually help get you know figure out what herbs was best for their particular situations. And digestive enzymes is like the best formula that I even take occasionally for
Yeah,
helping the body break down foods, especially because this stuff ain't real food. So definitely recommend a digestive enzyme. And then
yeah,
one of those,
that's great because you have the bromelain, which is the pineapple enzymes, and the papain,
right,
which is the
papaya.
papaya enzymes, which actually helps your body break down, especially protein. So we eating meat, so
Yes,
that's what's good for that.
you have to have this stuff on hand. Digestive enzymes, activated charcoal, and one or two of those bowel mover formulas, the colon, the bowel. The Synfin is extreme. I mean, if you like been just left in the hospital, they had you on some medication, you really backed up, and you want to blow the back wall off. That's the only time I recommend Synfin. Or if you want to just do a intestinal cleanse because you ain't been going, it's been 6 years, 10 years, and you still ain't shitting. You know, you need to clean your bowels.
And we're making light of this, but this is really important because most of your diseases originate from the colon. You know, you have a toxic like sewer running through you, and you haven't got it clean. And
Wow.
you end up having parasites in there. You have all kinds of rotting, decayed food, and it ends up your colon may rupture, and then you have a leaky gut, and stuff is spilling out into the rest of your body, causing problems. That's going to affect your immune system, so it causes you to have all types of problems. So it's very important. People keep their car clean, keep their house clean, but they'll clean the outside of their body. People will shower 2, 3 times a day, but they will go decades without cleaning their colon.
So basically, you say without if you're not cleaning your colon, you are toxic. As a result of being toxic, that's how you're going to get sick, guaranteed. You're going to get
Yeah,
cancer. You're going to get diabetes. You're going to get all the known name diseases or so-called diseases because you are overly toxic. You eliminate that toxicity out your body. You can take a break. You can take your body. You gave your body a break. You're now breathing. Okay, so I'm not going to string this along. We recommend digestive enzymes. We recommend the colon formula. We recommend the bowel mover formula. We recommend the Synfin formula. Call us. See the phone number on the screen. Give us a call. Find out what you need. Let us know where you're at. It don't matter. We're not judging you. Find out what you need. We'll tell you what's best for you, and you got to make a change. Because if you don't, guess what? You're dying at your own expense, and you call it enjoyable. So don't do that. My name's Forrest.
I'm Todd Lytle,
Uh,
and
herbsoftheforest.com. Y'all saw the phone number in the list. And join us on the podcast Saturday morning. What time, Todd? What time are you available, Todd? Because I'm available.
10:30. About good 10:30
Okay,
be a good time.
so 10:30 Saturday morning.
Do
Um,
we want to tell people we're going to talk about? It? When to tune in and get surprised. I mean, I haven't.
well, you know what? I want to talk about. I want to talk about EDD. That's what I want to talk about.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. So,
wait,
ladies, and the reason I
wait,
say that is because
you have about the personal familiarity with that?
look here, man. I'm like this. That's how I'm rolling. Okay, so
Okay,
I know
I
about.
just checked, because you gung ho for talking.
And look here, man. I am okay. I know a lot of people who have this problem, so I think the ladies are suffering most. That's the reason you have this conversation
You
because
know what? That is true. Because I had a woman back in the day who came up to me and was thinking about cheating on her husband because of his inabilities. And it's wrong because a lot of times the woman is the person who's creating the diet, who's feeding the man, and then you get mad when he can't perform after you sabotage his health by feeding him the wrong things. So we can talk about that.
but you can't blame her. You can but again, y'all got to come because tell everybody especially if their man is too soft, he limp noodle, his thing like this, and it's supposed to be hard. You know what I'm saying? If you and it won't just get hard. You got to come because you're gonna learn some things that I'm learning, and we're constantly learning of
Yeah,
what herbs will do.
easy air to teach you. Easy air right there to teach you everything you need to know.
Wait a minute, Todd, you stupid.
Yeah,
Okay, so join us Saturday, 10:30. That's the link to
EDD.
that's the podcast. That's the link.
What is it? Erectile dysfunction, right? Syndrome. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about EDD, and I ain't talking about education,
Okay.
and
I hope
I ain't talking about unemployment either. I'm talking about your man thing just won't get hard enough, and our desire is truly to help people because we work. I mean, I work. I don't know about Todd, but I work. I work just fine. So I'm talking about hammer hard. So come and find out how to help him get there.
somebody co-sign for that. You talking a
Look,
big game over
I'll
here.
put a
I
cosigner on here. She gonna say,
put a co-sign for that.
"Thanks for listening, guys." All
So
right,
you guys have
till Saturday. All right, goodbye.